forgot to share something this morning, so I'm going to share it now, whether people are here or not. I'll see if anyone comes over just for a few minutes while I'm finishing my brew off. Hi, Chris. I don't need to do a whole chat on the person that commented on why doesn't Trump say this, why doesn't Trump say that before, because I think that person's been asked that same question before, which I did address it, but I will just address it again quickly now, is the reason why Trump doesn't say certain things or looks like he's saying certain things and not certain things is because, like I said before, you don't want the deep state to know how he is. Hi, Revolutionary Visitors. So, at the time, some of the deep state or the celebrities that are part of that side, and I'll just say the dark side for a label, the satanical side, were getting confused with what Trump actually was, because when he first came, before he became president, yes, he did know elites, and he did have money because obviously he was rich, through his own devices, by the way. Doesn't matter whether he came from a wealthy family or not. He made his way up to the top, and he had to for a reason to get there as well, to see what was going on. Trump says sarcastic stuff, Trump stuff, like, yeah. The thing is, people get offended. Trump says it as it is, and that's what we want. We don't want someone lying and pretending they're doing something like Obamacare and all that, with like Obama and the ones before. Hi, Paul from Newcastle. So, I mean, this isn't a chat about Trump, but I just will address that. So the people on that side, all these service to thyself, meaning the ones that don't give a toss about others. Hi, Daniel. We're getting confused when they were seeing Trump up on stage when he came president. It's like, oh, well, everyone's saying he's part of Q or he's good, but he's telling us to do this, he's saying that. Doesn't sound like the mainstream media will say things and then you go and actually watch a Trump speech and it's not actually what he said, and if you do really listen carefully, you'll understand what he's saying. So no, he's not gonna, he says it in such a way because he's playing the game on mainstream media. Most people will say, well, why can't he just come out of it? He can't come out of it, as I've said and said before, because people are not going to believe it. People are not going to believe it, and you can see that with the cognitive dissonance going on right now. Like Q said, the people will be shown. He just plays the game, as we all know. He's trolling the media, as he's always said when he first came in. Fake news, fake news, fake news. China, China, China instead of Russia. No one takes any notice. I think I've always said, and someone said yesterday, I can't remember who it was, it could have been Chris Ward on Chris, what is it, the Chris Ward, not Chris Ward, getting mixed up with the names, Charlie Ward's channel. I've said this before, I think the last that will go down will be mainstream media. They're taking all the minions and all the celebrities and all those off that side, even the big guns, because, they're saying, oh, the Queen's still about yet. She doesn't know if she's going back to the palace. That's because she won't be doing, Harry and his wife or whatever ran off ages ago. They'll say, oh, they're still about. Yeah, they're saying it. And they'll show pictures. Yeah, they're just pictures. Videos of Tom Hanks in Cyprus, a picture. It's from about a year ago, apparently. We know how they work, but I think as they're getting them all, the mainstream media would be the last to come down. That's personally what I believe. Yeah, they say that. I mean, I think Prince Philip might be. She might be, but I'm just sitting in the middle with it all right now. We know they're not coming back. We know they're not going to be, our monarchy, even though we don't even need one. And even if the guy who's claiming to be king is king or not, I don't know. I think even Charlie Ward said the other day he's going to investigate to find out, because we just want to know the truth either way. I'm not really looking into that, but, things will come out, because like I said, it's dark to light. Mainstream media are getting seen for what they are anyway, whether people believe it or not. Yeah, I'm just like, but even my mum said, oh, I've seen, they've said they're still about, of course they're going to still talk about certain celebrities in the media, so to the sleeping, it's like, oh yeah, but they said the other day, so it still sounds like they're there, or people are going, oh, Tom Hanks has ran off to Cyprus now, at least he's ran off. I doubt he's ran off. I reckon he'll be in Gitmo. They're just pictures. Apparently they're from 2019. I think he's Cypriot. Anyways, he's a Cypriot. He's a. I'm not saying he's Cypriot. Well, he might be, but I'm saying he was he got made a Cypriot. Is that the right word? Citizen ages ago. So why they're talking about it now? But the reason why they're talking about it now is they want you to still think he's about, because of all the paedophilia that about him, and he had a new film coming out. And that's what they do. I think Charlie Ward, Trump, etc. Golden. Yeah, the Golden Dawn. People going about the Golden Age. What's the Golden Age? I said before, it's going gold back. So There's loads going on there, but I'm not talking about that. What I was going to talk about is, I forgot to say this morning, was the Age of Pandora, which is above duality. If you check that channel out, if you believe it, you believe it, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I really do. I really do love that channel, Above Duality, and they're doing a lot on the Age of Pandora, and they've just done Egypt. I think they do it I think it used to be every Wednesday, but it's every other week now or something. But he's into Q as well. I'm going to show that in a minute, because I did the meditation at the end, because the lovely Kira, I think it is, or Kara, the guy on it, does a meditation at the end, and it's dead relaxing. And I want to talk about, when I said I'm going to come on a Monday and do Mindset Mondays, I think it's food next week, and then I do want to talk about meditations and what you see, because and discussing that for anyone who does it or getting into it, because anyway, I did the meditation and then I saw things in my mind's eye, because it was like I was flying over things, so I sort of drew them out quickly, but I will explain what it was, because that's normally what I do. I draw my visions down. Hi Dolly, I wish you blessings and a peaceful day. Greetings all in chat, and to you James as well. So the Age of Pandora, I'm just going to play a little bit. It's a really good listen if you're into all that, and obviously it's about Egypt and what we believe the pyramids are for. I've always believed that pyramids were for putting out energy frequency. I do believe it felt, but also, when they say all the kings went in the tomb, I don't think it was necessarily that. I think it was to go to spirit, your soul, to move through certain, let's say, stargates and stuff like that, as we'd say. And someone was saying something about, because we say about water can be stargates. Water is a transmitter as well. And if you think about the film Stargate, which I think that's what they mentioned. I think I'm going to have to watch that film again. The Stargate was, in the film, or the series or whatever, water, wasn't it? It was a liquid that they walked through. Liquid. Just saying, putting it out there. So it's Age of Pandora, and the last one they've just done is part 2. If you haven't gone over to Above Duality and seen the Age of Pandora episodes, because I did text on their channel that I was going to share this, so I'm going to share it. Go back to the beginning of the start of the episodes. This is episode 2 of Egypt. So it's Above Duality, and it's the Age of Pandora, episode 4, part 2. Where are we? Egypt. So I'm just going to play a little bit.
Marian tradition.
Because obviously they're going about NK and a real, if I've said the name right, Isis, what they were meant to be, the Anunnaki, all that sort of stuff that we've all gone through when we've started searching. Because I hear a lot of people who are very religious, who go on about Egypt like it was evil. I don't think it was. I don't think these people were evil. Like they go, Horus and the one eye, and you think that's Illuminati and all that. You've got to remember, they just knew, they knew about this stuff, those above who have been controlling us. They didn't want us to know or to awaken to our true powers, of the powers that we do have, and the things that we, about ascension and where we go after, in the afterlife, we go on, and all that sort of good stuff we all get into. So it was good. So
the Epic of Gilgamesh. So these are tablets that were discovered 3,500 years BC. And Gilgamesh actually means in Sumerian Orion. So it's referring already to star origins. The Anunnaki refers to those who came from the stars. So they may have come from Orion, they may have come from the Pleiades, probably many different star systems, not just one species or one race.
Yeah, I mean, I personally believe spires were put on churches for the extraction of energy from the ground and above. When you think of lightning, Tesla, and also people worship him in churches and places like that, have big places like, say, football grounds where there's big energy. They use that, if you get what I'm saying. Or a building is built on a ley line with a spire, because there's ley lines all over the earth, actually. I think there's supposed to be quite a lot in England. And like I said about the Dark Crystal the other day, when I showed the picture of the castle, the horrible castle, the evil castle, with the ley lines going into it, and it was sucking all the life force in the ley lines in that film to them, and they were like using it for bad,
So what we have seen in intervening years is a series of seeding between star races and existing humans across time, across the planet. And so what we know as Anunnaki was one of these breeds, one of these races, which were master geneticists. So their job was actually to create a human race of species that was capable of working with them to
Builders.
mine, to produce a workers' class that became known initially as the Neanderthals and then gradually developed into what we know today as Homo sapiens. The Neanderthals were actually a cross between the Anunnaki and the current human. And they had capacities, they had gifts, they had potentials that we have lost in this time. So the question is, who built all these ancient monuments, the pyramids, the amazing temples?
And they say in this near the end exactly what I said yesterday, and this came out dodge o'clock in the morning because of their time difference they were doing it, is I said about the pyramid, they tried to cap it off with their control system because they were evil. You're all right having a pyramid system if, say, the one at the top, I know that's hard, I hate saying that, but is for everybody else and we all work together in that structure. But that is not how it's been. It's been the one in control, let's, for example, the one in control at the top that's evil, let's say, and has all its minions working underneath it, and then we're all at the bottom. Well, that can be flipped. That can be flipped. So that sign that everyone gets triggered with the pyramid, with the eye on top of it, does not mean if I drew it and added it on something, it's Illuminati. It's just that's, they normally, I'm sure on the American dollar bill it's cut. Isn't the top cut on the American dollar bill? Meaning disconnected. Because they think they're higher than anybody.
These stories that we have today about the gods and the goddesses, are they simply mythical beings, or are they referring to something that could be actually literal?
Horace, Jesus, Buddha, etc., all energies of the Most High to guide us through the dark age that we are coming out. Yeah, I believe that as well. And they were talking about Cyrus, Cyrus. A lot of say Trump's that, because that's that energy coming back. Because, if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, and those coming back, and the more you come back, you remember, you can help in the future, if you want to say. So that is a little bit like a time machine, if you want to say, because if you're remembering, and maybe with each reincarnation you remember more, you'll know more next time you come in, this game that we're playing, then you can come in, because you're sort of from the past for the future, if you get what I'm saying, and you remember, so you're remembering stuff, who you are, what power you hold, and how the other side works, let's say.
And so we're going to talk about the gods and the goddesses to some extent, what they actually are.
Those that wanted for humanity and those that didn't.
Aspects that have relevance for us now, but also open up possibilities for something that we've lost. So let's go back to the beginnings. So we have the brothers, half-brothers.
We say worshipping
to the great overseers
worshipping to the afterlife, but the afterlife is where we go after. It's an afterlife. We don't die, and we should celebrate it. Is it in Mexico where they celebrate the Day of the Dead, is it, or whatever they call it? Because you should be doing, we're also doom and gloomy, that's going to fear people, fearing people when we go on immortal.
Lucky when they first entered into the earth planes. And they lived for thousands of years, so it's a very different time scale from what we experience today with Earth humans. Enlil was the one who was the prime god in the...
And the weird thing is, they've just put this out about Pandora in Egypt. I've been thinking about Egypt since last week when I was speaking to the lovely lady in Mente, who knows Jen McCartney, is it, or who knows Magenta Pix, when they all do the round table thing. And that's the name I got in, Mente. Then you think of did they say the halls of Mente? Just because there's certain names, like they say on here, and someone will go, it's this, which is the same energy but it's just a different name, and that's how they twist things up and try to confuse us anyway when everyone's arguing about, oh, it's this name, it's that name. It's like some of them are the same. It's a bit like being reincarnated again, a different name but same energy, same person, same soul signature or whatever. So that's how I sort of see it.
Tradition that came afterwards.
Hi.
Enki
Hi.
was the one that had different names also in the Hebrew tradition.
See, we always know about Enki and Abel being brothers, and one was for humanity and one wasn't, because the other one got jealous. It's that dark and light thing, isn't it? It's that good and bad, bad and evil, which has always been playing here. And like I said, even we're winning this spiritual war, but when the good people are winning and they'll be at the top, but there's still going to be bits of evil people, but with more good in control and people realising and wanting to be for service to others, it's a totally different ball game. And they do say this, and I've said that, and they said it at the end of this, and I was like, yes, I love syncing up with people.
But when they translated into the Egyptian tradition,
And they're into Q.
guess what they were called? So Osiris was Enki.
A lot of people call Trump Osiris.
The one we know as Seth, his brother, was Enlil. So it's the same relationships.
Hi, Fifth World.
Another progeny.
And I'd just like to say about good people, NK and real, good and bad, is with this awakening, whatever anyone believes is, all I'm seeing when I look on YouTube and other places is people coming in more and more, and it's all good people with different solutions, different websites of really good stuff of helping people to heal. Even the lovely lady off Keystone channel who does the Q stuff, they call her the Dutch lady, she's doing healing, holistic stuff. Trump's just mentioned something about holistic stuff again, because that's what we need to go back to, the earth, healing, remedies, not big pharma. And people get all confused with everything, but like I say, I'm seeing beautiful people that are bringing, I wouldn't even say the new solutions, some of them are, the old hermetics or the old, most of this is, like they were saying, and I've been saying for a few years, is alchemy. And obviously that's what the Egyptians knew, so it's not really anything new, but it's what we need to be going back to, in a sense. Yes, we can have new technologies, but they have to be in alignment with us and for the good, not alignment with the evil, because people go on about AI. We can have AI stuff, like I'm talking to you on a tablet, but not the way they've had it, the way China's been doing it, with all the face, collecting our information, this, that, and the other. It can work. It's got to be in balance. Everything's got to be in balance, basically. And this is what we're saying with those that have been in control for centuries. It's not been in balance, so they are being taken down. The old guard is going, and there'll be a new one in that. It's for the better. They say, the golden age for 1,000 years, whatever they call it. Well, good, yeah. It'll probably go back to the, when it sneaks in again, like it does with the cycles. But we're here at this time now, and you can tell there's something going on. Like I said today, have you seen China? When Q said, "Watch the water." What's going on over there?
He was the one known in the Egyptian mysteries as Thoth, the great architect. And he was the originator.
See, Paul said years ago he cleared his mind and said, what is the meaning? Because you ask, you'll receive of life. I had a download of images of the pyramids of the above of Orion. And I always go look at Orion, the stars, and the Seven Sisters, yeah. And that's why I'll show you what I sort of quickly drew out my meditation. From the meditation from this, if you watch, he's got a lovely meditation at the end. They always do a meditation. I always find it very relaxing. And it's funny you say Cube, because I've seen that Cube film. I know about all that. And I was just laughing when I was at Morrison's today shopping, when they've got the kids' T-shirt. What's that thing kids play? Something... Minecraft, and it was a picture of something with a cube next to it, and I thought, yeah, the black cube, you know what I mean? So I'm, yeah, do you mean dying, Danny? No, I'm not, because we go on, don't we?
Of many of the pyramids, the structures, the mystery schools.
But I think if you don't know, you get deceived if you don't know certain stuff when you do pass.
Right now, except that he was this great architect and geometrist.
No, I definitely don't believe in COVID numbers. We know they're just bumping up any old way that they can.
But he is also known in later traditions as Hermes Trismegistus, who brought alchemy into the common understanding. So there's a lot of different aspects to this. So we go back to the story of Osiris and Isis and Seth. Who were they? So were they more than just mythical gods and goddesses?
It's like the guy on there, the other guy, I can't remember his name, he said, watch the film. I love it actually, but they have twisted it slightly, and he said they have, as we know, that is what they do, they tell the truth in those sort of films. Like Lord of the Rings, he was saying, well, I've always loved Lord of the Rings, and the Gods of Egypt. So if you haven't seen the newish film, Gods of Egypt, it is brilliant, because it showed you all the niceness at the beginning till stuff happened, but they have twisted it, just like the guy on there said, they have twisted it, obviously. They don't want to tell you everything.
Nephthys, Thoth, Shazaz, all the others, and I know you'll be talking about them.
Even when he says the word Merkaba, which I loved as well, when we know the Merkaba, the Merk sounds like merge. Brilliant.
So Osiris and Isis, Seth and Nephthys, they came from a land known as Atlantis.
Can I just say as well, I forgot, I was watching with my fella the other night, something on nebulas on a planet thing on the TV, whatever it was, not Netflix, whatever it was, and I nearly spat my tea out. My partner was like, oh God, 17 in the house as I'm about to say this, thank you, Q in the house, as I'm about to say this, the nebulas, which to me when I was sat there, I just think, there's loads of the nebulas that we're saying, they look like stargates to me, and one of them, are you ready for this? It's called Q. I went, well, that's my favourite nebula right there. I can't even say the word nebula right there. And my fellow was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I went, oh, that's fantastic. I went, that's mine right there. There was a Q. Because it looks like a Q. Because they were saying what they look like. It looked like a Q. There's a nebula called Q. Just had to throw that out there. I forgot to tell you the other day.
More than what we understand today.
So was America the next Atlantis because they wanted to be free and they've tried to bring it down?
Beginnings of ancient Egypt.
I believe it is the next Atlantis, if you want to say. Was that Laura Eisenhower?
Far more than that. In fact, the Great Flood that took place 12,000 years ago, much was lost in those times. There's so much.
Don't know, but I just got a little heart from above Duality because I left a little comment.
That still survive and have been discovered. And there's pyramids and monuments across the world. Who built them? Amazing.
Good, Danny.
Glorious monuments that we cannot duplicate today. So is it possible that Osiris and the other gods and goddesses originate from a time before the last cataclysm, from the time of Atlantis, during a time when the Anunnaki were doing the genetic experimentations and also mining the earth for special substances.
There's that bit, and I'm just going to show you a little bit at the end, but go over because they did a meditation. It was brilliant. I'm going to tell you about the meditation because I'm not staying on long. But also, they're going about cataclysm. It's funny about the ascension thing because you think some things are happening where I know it's not nice. Some people are passing over, and there's a lot of stuff going on in China where if that dam breaks, a lot of people will die. But then sometimes I think, would some people have known and they got them out, and then would they say on the news that they have, because we know how the news works, but I'm not saying that's true. Or at the end of the day, I know this sounds awful, are they not the people who are not doing the work? Because that cataclysm fell, and the people who weren't working on themselves to ascension or whatever you want to call it, went with the floods, if you get what I'm saying, went with the cataclysm of the cycle. Just throwing it out there, that was just in my head, so I'm just saying what I think. Hi, Tatiti. So, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the meditation in a minute. I'm just going to go near the end.
To, subvert and take over and enslave the newly emerging human race. And Enki is...
Because we're going from slave to being brave,
Brother was the one who was trying to actually protect and to serve humanity.
Because this is what it's all about. It's about serving humanity, service to others, or service to self, where you don't give a toss, basically. And this is what we're seeing now of, we're seeing what people are really standing for. That's how I see it. Same old.
Potential. So in the story of the garden,
Enki was a snake.
The snake actually represents Enki.
What, to tell you the truth?
Because these Anunnaki beings had reptilian DNA. So they had human.
So they're just saying this is what they think now. It would make sense because people go on about the reptilian, and like he's just saying there, just because he had like a reptilian, hang on a minute,